Howdy, my special little angels. Guess what? It's December, and you know what that means. Ooh, Merry Christmas, where all the turkey and dressing and all the fixings. Yum, yum, yum. Well, this month, we're going to be using a little special thing called Little Stories About Christmas. I'm going to do 3 different books. This first one is That's Not Santa. The second one is One Enchanted Christmas. Whoa. And you know what? My first and most favorite one that I loved hearing as a child is The Night Before Christmas. Ooh, see how it glistens? Yeah! Well, let's get started. The first book is That's Not Santa. I can't even read today, but, well, let's see what we can get started. They got reindeer, so you know there's reindeer involved. Well, That's Not Santa. Santa's Workshop, December 24th. That's the big Christmas day. And so our next page is, let's see if we can blow it up here and see that? Ain't that pretty? This is my fabulous little trinkets I love to play with. Well, it's the day before Christmas. Santa's sleigh is filled with toys. Everything is ready for Santa's trip, but what? Where's Santa? So here's all the little elves that got all the toys up. Well, the next page says Santa is sleeping. Oh my gosh, it's December 24th. Why is he sleeping? So, time to get up. Time to put on my red suit, he says. So here's Santa. He's putting on his red suit. And the next page. Ooh, what's it gonna be? Santa looks for his red suit. It's not there. He looks everywhere. He looks in the closet. He looks in the drawer. He even looks under his bed. So here he's looking in the closet. He's looking in the drawer. And there he's looking under the bed. So he asked the elves, "Have you seen my red suit?" The elves said, "No, we haven't seen your red suit." So he asked the reindeer, "Have you seen my red suit?" No one has seen Santa's red suit. Here's where he's asking the elves, and here's where he's asking the reindeer. Well, no red suit, no Christmas, because you can't have Christmas without a red Santa suit. No Christmas, said the elves. So here he's just trying to figure out where his suit is. And here the elves are like, no Christmas, don't know what they're going to do without a red suit. So Santa says, wait, I have an idea. He has an idea right here. He's going up the stairs. What's he going to do? So Santa goes upstairs, looks in the trunk, and sees what he can find. So here's Santa going upstairs, and here he is looking in the red trunk. How's this? What's that? He's dressed as a cowboy. Oh no, you can't go out like that. That's not Santa, said the little elves. Wait, I'll be right back, says Santa. So here's the elves telling him, you can't dress like a cowboy. The next page says, how about this? And he's a pirate. Or this, he's a clown. Or this, that's okay, he's a bee. Or this, what do you think? He's a baseball player. No, that's not Santa, said the little elves. We'll be right back. So the elves take off, and there goes Santa in the baseball suit trying to see what he can find. This is it. Off I go. Oh my gosh, he's in his long johns, but they're red. So no, you can't go out in your underwear. That's not Santa, said the little elves. So Mrs. Claus comes home. You can't go out that way. You'll catch a cold. Not in your fancy little digs, underwear and your pajamas. But he can't find his red suit, said the little elves. So here's the red suit telling Mr. Claus that he can't find his red suit. See? Ooh, this is fabulous. Red suit Santa, I want you to open your Christmas present right now, says Mrs. Claus. What can it be in the box? Because you know Christmas has a lot of presents. A new red suit. I'll put it on. Oh my God, how did you know I needed a new red suit? Now that's Santa. He found his suit. Mrs. Claus got him a suit. So the next page says, it's getting late. We have to go. We have to. It's gonna be time that people aren't gonna get their toys. So here's him telling Miss Claus they gotta go, and here's where he's saying we gotta go. So ho ho ho, I'm going with you. I have a red suit too. Holy crap! Mrs. Claus is gonna go with Santa too. That's amazing. Totally fabby. Ho ho ho! This Christmas will be twice as much fun. Because he has his wife with him. And off they go to do their Christmas cheer. The next book says, An Enchanted Christmas. Ooh, it's enchanted. So, once upon a time, there was an old Victorian house that was home to two elderly sisters. Elderly means they're older. That's a special way of saying someone's old. And one aging Siamese cat. I guess a cat's old too. Out of a small front room, these sisters ran a busy hat and dress shop, from which they supplied the fanciest department stores in the city. So here's the little sisters, and they got their shop, and they're in a big, beautiful city. So, Francesca, the dressmaker, was a gentle woman who raised her children in this very house, and who now enjoys the visits from her grandchildren. She wore layers of brightly colored satin jackets, exotic jewelry, and comfortable shoes. Her gray hair was piled high and held in place with a cufhion, chopsticks, hat pins, sewing supplies, reading glasses, and a splendid recipe for salsa. She had all that in her wig. Let me see. Yeah, all I have is hat pins in mine. So let's see what we can find. Well, her sister, Tori, was the hat maker, whose creations were known for their unexpected details. A silver spoon, a china teacup nestled in mounds of bowls and flowers, ostrich blooms, and beaded fruit. Tori often wore strappy heels. Ooh, strappy heels. Love my heels, they're strappy. Well, excuse me. On her hat, she wrapped herself in yards of brilliant silk, because remember, Francesca made beautiful silk gowns. On one occasion, the dining room table. So here's Tori. She has a dining room tablecloth on her. Oh man, she should have got some silk from her sister Francesca. Well, holidays are especially magical at the sister's house. The comings and goings of family and friends stirred about the workshop's feathers, fabric of brilliant lace and ribbon, causing them to drift down in glittering confetti as it to bless the house and all who entered. One Christmas Eve, Elsa, Francesca's youngest grandchild, came to visit. Elsa could not have asked for a better place to play dress-up than a little front room where her grandmother worked. She particularly loved the heavy red velvet drapes. The length of fabric had given generations of children an enchanted place in which to imagine dreams come easily to Elsa, where she hid in the velvet drapes. So here's Elsa, here's Francesca, and they're getting ready to do something special because it's enchanted. Ooh, enchanted. So, as grandmother and grand hurried about the workshop's clutter, putting last-minute touches on their dresses and hats, Elsa wrapped herself in warmth of the drapery and watched them. Spying Elsa's hiding place, Francisca beckoned her granddaughter to the footstool. It's time to replace those curtains. Let's make you something special to wear on Christmas. So here's Francesca, and here's Elsa, and there she is hiding behind the little curtains. Well, her grandmother's going to make her something special. I wonder if it's going to be something out of silk, or maybe even a tablecloth. You never know. Well, Elsa was startled to see grandmother snip apart one of the curtains and quickly cut and stitch it into a coat. Aunt Tori fashioned a wonderful matching hat. Then Tori bent and whispered in Elsa's ear, "You know, child, your grandmother has sewn only one other creation like this. It was made years ago for a special client, a kind old gentleman who's also loved red velvet. This coat, too, is special because it is made with the fabric of your dreams." So here's Francesca, and there's Elsa getting a special red coat out of the draperies. Well, indeed, the velvet was darkened with age, now glowed on Isa. Several half-moon pockets for Isa's treasure and small hands were sewn on either side, and inside, next to her heart, was another tiny pocket. Keep the pockets filled. You never know when you need the gifts they hold, Tori added. So looky here. There's Tori in her special little hat and her brilliant jacket. The next page. I didn't get books that's easier to turn. That night, when Tori and Francesca tucked Issa in bed, the coat was still wrapped tightly around her. It had the unmistakable scent of the house and all the people she adored. Over the years, Isa's red coat became a much-loved dolly's blanket, a treehouse flag, a roof, or a simple fort. Eventually, it found a home slung over the bedpost, never far from Isa's tasseled head. There its pockets held the treasures that Isa held dear. A locket from her best friend, beach glass that flashed the color blue, an iridescent butterfly wing, trinket like those used in Tori's hats, memories of places people adored. When the daily addition of each simple blessing, the coat quickly grew. So here's all the little things that she decided. She made a blanket for a cat. She made she hung it on the wall. She made a tent. So that night it grew. Look at that. The whole thing is growing. Ooh. So that is totally fabulous. The approach of Christmas once again found the two sisters happily working on special creations. There were last-minute requests for sequins and stars, boas, and rhinestones. So, here's the sisters, Francesca and her, working on a special new outfit. Ooh. Late on Christmas Eve, as the last satisfied customer left and the shop was about to close, a large, flustered-looking gentleman stepped in. The two sisters recognized him at once as the jolly old fellow who had long ago purchased a rather distinctive red velvet suit. Oh my God, who could that be? "Ladies, ladies," he boomed in a deep voice and with a twinkle in his eye, "I'm in a pickle and require your assistance. I've just begun my trip, but I have already ruined my coat, and there are only a tree limb knows where my hat is. Please, my wife insists that I must wear a coat tonight or I'll catch the death of cold. Because you know December is pretty cold. Could you make me quickly a new one? So here's Santa, and he's getting a new special coat because you know Miss Claus can't have him going out and getting cold. So from her favorite hiding spot behind the curtain, Issa watched as her grandmothers and grandaunts sadly shook their heads no. They wanted to help, but it was too late. They couldn't possibly fashion a hat and coat and such grand dimensions in time. Seeing the old man's disappointment, Issa had an idea. Wonder what she's gonna do. Wait a minute. Didn't Issa have a coat? Oh, Issa had an idea and quickly slipped out the door. As the customer turned to leave, Issa replied and pushed a wrapped bundle towards the kind gentleman. What is this, little one? A gift for me? Now that's a twist, because you know he always gets special gifts for everybody else. But you gotta be sleeping so you don't catch him. So, this is his rosy cheeks grew rosier still as high as he gingerly peeled back the wrapping. Spread before them was Issa's coat. Once tiny, it had grown in magnificence and proportion, and there tucked into its many pockets peeking out from the many depots appeared an abundance of extraordinary gifts. The old man held the coat to his face and breathed in the fullness of a child's heart that it was the sweetest thing that anyone had ever done. Because he's the one that gives gifts, but this little girl gave him a special gift. His eyes glistened with thanks. He knelt as the sisters lifted the great coat around his shoulders. Issa tucked a note into the pocket nearest to his heart. The man quickly, laughing with delight because he had a new coat. See all the special little toys? Whoa, that's amazing! Well, the next page says, Issa, Francisca, and Tori closed the small front door and climbed the stairs to the very top floor. Together they pulled open the moon-shaped window, and there, amongst the glittering stars, watched the sky for the arrival of Father Christmas. Ooh, that's cool. And that's it. And the last page has a special little note. I wonder what that note says. Well, let's see what it says. Dear Santa, I believe in you, Issa. Aww, Santa is always doing something special all the time. That's a cute little book. It has never had a book with a pocket in it, and it has little special strings. That's totally fabby. Look at that. That's cool. That's an enchanted, because once it grew, it had all the little toys in it. Well, that's one Enchanted Christmas. And now we're at my favorite book of all time, The Night Before Christmas. Ain't it cool? I just love the way the book looks. Whoa, watch it glisten on the golden Christmas. Wow, that's cool. So, let's get started. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a little bitty mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nick's he would be there. So here's the stockings, and here they have the fireplace, right here. And the next page says, the children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. So here's the little child, and he's sleeping. And Mama and her kerchief, and I, in my cap, have just settled down for a long winter's nap. They must be tired because you can't catch Santa. He won't leave you presents. When out of the lawn they rose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed just to check out and see what's the matter. So here they are. Here's Papa. He's looking, trying to see what's all going on with that clattering. Away to the window, I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters, threw up the sash. So here's the window, and he's throwing up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave a luster of midway to objects below. See the little birdie there out the window? That's cool. When what to my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer. With the little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be Saint Nick. Oh, look, here he is, Saint Nick. And here's all the little reindeers. Oh, sorry. There's all the little reindeers running around, taking him to deliver his toys. So, more rapid than eagles, his courses they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them my name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen. So here's all the little reindeer, and they're all, he said their names. Here they go. This must be Comet. Let me see if I can light that up for you with my special little woo light. Well, to the top of the porch, to the top of the wall. Now dash away, dash away, dash away off. As dry leaves before the wild hurricane fly, when they met with an obstacle, mount to the sky. So up on the housetop, of course they flew, with sleigh full of toys and St. Nicholas too. And then in a twinkling I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. What's a bound? I guess it's a bag full of, guess what? Toys! That's cool. Presents everywhere because Santa brings them. You just can't catch him. You just lay cookies and milk out for him. He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose was like a cherry. His droll little mouth and drawn up like a bow, and the beard on his chin was white as snow, because Christmas time usually has snow. So here's his beard. Ain't it beautiful? That's totally fabby. The next page says this stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he was laughed, ho ho ho, like a bowl full of jelly. He was chummy and plump and right jolly old elf, as a jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk, and laying his finger beside his nose and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose, from the bottom to the top. He sprang into his sleigh. To his team he gave a whistle, and they flew away like dawn of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim as he drove out of sight, "Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night." Well, that's one of my most favorite books to read. I read it every December. And I just want to wish you all a very merry and joyous Christmas with your families. And have a happy New Year. And guess what? That's coming up next month. And this is December's video. And always remember, when you think pink, think of me. Woo!